HR tuliwachia wapi? Si kama mtu anaweza kumbuka mahali HR tuliwachia. Tuliwachia 2015. Ni mbali sana. This is 2016. Yeah, tulifanya hii 2015. I remember this name. Hope we did 2015. So it means we did 2014, 2015. So we are supposed now to cover 2016. Let me try and confirm whether we did 2016. Okay, let us do 2016 and 17 if it is possible. Then maybe later in the evening we'll do 2018 and 19. Yeah, Kenya School of Government. The paper is 2 hours. It consists of 2 sections, A and B. Section A consists of 12 compulsory questions carrying 40 marks. Section B consists of 4 questions each carrying 20 marks. Answer 3 questions. Answer all questions in the booklet. Okay, question 1 is asking to state 4 documents that a public officer will be required to provide on first appointment. On first document, a public officer will be required to have academic certificate, birth certificate. So another document that will be required to have, apart from academic certificate, birth certificate, also I did a copy of identity card. A copy of identity card also would be required. Many of us forget, but account details also. Document of your account details also will be required. I remember submitting my account details. KRA, is it KRA certificate or KRA what? Medical certificate also will be required for you, and I gave KRA PIN. Thank you. I remember giving a story of how some of my colleagues waliweza kutapeliwa, yani hata wakufanyiwa hizo matesting, but jamaa alitoa karibu 2,000 3,000, but for us sisi tulienda wa kwanza tulipeana 200, napeana 200 hapo na ukajaziwa haraka, but wengine walitoa karibu 3,000 na it's a wicked world we are living in. Yeah, we have academic and professional certificates. national identification card, birth certificate, recommendation letters, and also other details that we have just put across. We have number 2, list 3 types of reimbursable allowance payable to civil servants. List 3 types of reimbursable allowance payable to civil servants. Do you know of any? Mileage allowance, mileage allowance. I see subsistence allowance. Another one. Yeah, we have mileage, as you had said, subsistence allowance, and responsibility allowance. There are the 3 types of reimbursable allowance payable to civil servant: mileage, subsistence, and responsibility. Identify 2 types of information that must be contained in a report of misconduct. Identify 2 types of information that must be contained in a report of misconduct. Hmm? The type of misconduct involve names, dates, nature of misconduct, evidence of misconduct. State 2 circumstances where a public officer on transfer may not be eligible for transfer allowance. 2 circumstances where a public officer on transfer may not be eligible for transfer allowance. We have voluntary transfer as a disciplinary measure. It may not be eligible for allowance, but I have a question. There are some of you here got transfer when they were in NRB. Were you given transfer allowance? Were you given transfer allowance? Ama watuko hapo wenye walitransfer, washai transfer? The 8 of us here. Were we given allowance? Ama kuna mtu mwenye alitransfer hapa? Ama kila mtu ako to the same station? Doreen, ushawahi transfer?
Hapana, nilitoka tu back office nikaingia huduma, niko tu hapa tu Meru.
Okay, sawa. Nimeona kumekwanga na mass transfer nini, so I was wondering were these people given transfer allowance? So circumstances where a public officer on transfer may not be eligible for transfer allowance. We have voluntary transfer and transfer as disciplinary measure. Yani unakuwa transferred because of disciplinary. You are being disciplined, so you aupewi hiyo allowance. Number 5, Mr. Ko, a clerical officer, applied for training and the request was rejected. List 4 probable reasons for rejection of the request. Probably Mr. Ko, nitapeana jibu, pia jibu yangu. Mr. Ko probably had disciplinary issues, and that's why he was denied. He was rejected for training. Also, he lacked qualifications. Another reason for rejection, lack of funds for the training also. Another one, you have lack of funds, lack of qualification, disciplinary. He may be having disciplinary issue. That's why he was rejected. The training may not be related to job. Ingine pia ni lack of funds, lack of qualification. Training needs assessment showed training was not required. Insufficient funds to support training. Training opportunity not relevant to duties. Officer did not meet eligibility criteria for training. Number 6, state 4 benefits that may accrue to a public officer from membership of Staff Welfare Association. Benefits ni kama access to collective bargaining, advocacy on grievance, local support and networking, access to welfare programs and resources. Benefits of staff welfare ni kama gani apart from the 4? Benefits. We have the benefits zenye huyu public officer atapata wakati amejoin staff welfare ni access to collective bargaining, advocacy on grievance, social support and networking, access to welfare program and resources. Another one also I can say staff welfare can enhance career, can enhance growth in career, personal, and you have career, personal, and career. Let's say career growth, because in this welfare, you will be trained on career growth. You will be trained on issues in relation with your finances. You will be trained in issue relation to your economic growth, family growth, mental growth. There are also other staff welfare wanaletanga psychologists na wanazungumuza na staffs issue relation to mental health, which is a crisis among career people, na wale wenye pia are outside work related issues also they face mental health. Wana face hizo issues zina relate na mental health. Identify 3 limitations of using workshops for training clerical officers. 3 limitations of using workshop. It is very expensive. Workshop is very expensive. It's very expensive. Lack of funds to facilitate this workshop. Lack of funds to facilitate this workshop. Another one, identify 3 limitations of using workshop for training clerical officers. Another one, Grace, Davis, wale mkichangamka. Ian, Three limitation of using workshop for training: inconvenient, requires a lot of planning, availability, unavailability of venues, unavailability, make availability of venue, nangeka hapo ya UN and unavailability of venues to facilitate these workshops. It's also time consuming. Limited time allocation, large group size, minimal individual attention. Hizo nye pia mmeweza kushare. State 4 challenges faced by public servant while seeking medical services under, tuseme tu sasa SHA, under SHA, because right now we are not under NHIF. Challenges faced by public servant while seeking medical services under SHA. Kama gani? Poor customer service relation, slow biometric system, slow biometric system, delay approval for service, poor customer service relation, out-of-pocket charges, scarce accredited hospital, especially in the rural areas. Let's see, delay reimbursements, I think it's also the same and with SHA. Inadequate coverage. Not every hospital is accredited with SHA, especially in the rural areas. Access restriction to certain facilities, lengthy administrative procedures. Number 9, identify 4 features of the pension commutation form. 4 features of the pension commutation form. Features, you have personal information, employment details, commutation option, application signature. You have personal information, employment details, commutation option, applicant signature are 4 features of pension communication form. Personal information, employment details, commutation option, applicant signature. State 4 consequences of suspension to a public officer. You have gross misconduct. Mimi ndo sijaelewa hii swali, ama unauliza state 4 consequences of suspension. Hii swali inamaanisha aje? Hebu mtu anisaidie. Consequences inaona ni kama inamaanisha limits. Inamaanisha yani not limit, effects. Effects ya kukuwa suspended. Effects. Stoppage of salary, stoppage of salary, hiyo na agree na demotion, akikuwa suspended hiyo definitely salary itakuwa stopped, anaweza kuwa demoted. Hiyo tu kukuwa suspended pia inaweza lead to yeye kukuwa stressed, mental health problem, mental health problem and hiyo pia kwa suspended pia anaweza kuwa dismissed, anaweza kuwa transferred, ile yenye amerudi kutoka kwa suspension, wanaona sasa wewe wacha tukupeleke station ya kule Mpeketoni. Sasa unakutransfer huko, unaenda huko Mpeketoni huko Lamu, from maybe tuseme ulikuwa Nairobi, wanakupeleka Mpeketoni. Unaweza kuwa dismiss, unatoka from suspension hivi then unakuwa dismiss. Ndio hapo, temporary removal from duty, withholding of half salary or attempts, they can even stop your salary. They can withhold half of your salary, they can stop your salary. Restricted access to premises. Restricted access to premises ni ile kumaanisha kwamba wakikususpend haufai urudi tena, hata kuja kusalimiana, maybe ulikuwa umemake some friends, so unakuja kusalimiana na bado na suspend, bado unafanya nini, uko bado kwa hiyo suspension, lakini suspension yako bado haijaisha, but you are still coming to the premises, so unakuwa restricted, you cannot come back. Prohibition from exercising powers of office. So if you are suspended, you cannot come back and exercise the power of office. Kwamba wewe, mimi ni ofisa, naweza ingia tu hapa, naweza fanya hii na hii na hii. No, you are prohibited from doing anything in relation to what your office is mandated to do. Number 11, identify 3 requirements for exit from public service on marriage grounds. Hii ndio gani? Hii nasikia for the first time. Identify 3 requirements of exit from public service on marriage grounds. Yaani kuna watu anawacha kazi ya serikali. There's a very close person I know hiyo to my relatives ya mbali, and she got a job with public service under Ministry of Labor, na from Nairobi walimtuma Kwale County. She has a young family and watoto wake wako 3 years and ako na watoto wawili 3 years na kuna mwenye ako 1 year old. So the lady amepostiwa Kwale na it is very inconvenient for her, kwa watoto wawili na kupelekwa Kwale, so alikuwa naomba anyway sieleze hii yani the lady aliquit your job juzi hapa, aliquit hiyo kazi, and maybe I may think maybe it's because of pia mambo ya kutaka kukaa na familia yake akilea akifanya kazi. Alikuwa anataka aletwe Nairobi, asifanye huko Kwale, aletwe Nairobi, but something happened whereby ilibidi yeye mwenyewe amewacha hiyo kazi, kama maybe hawawezi mpea transfer, wamrudishe hapa Nairobi akae very close to his family, mtoto wake na the husband. Identify 3 requirements for exit from public service on marriage grounds. You have resignation letter. Mbona taka makawa amesema hiyo. Another one, another one I can say clearance certificate. Clearance certificate. You may clear na all the departments. You may clear na all the departments. Na kwamba uko ready sasa ku exit the public service. Hizo mbili ndio mimi you're able to check, because I know even in some of us it is the first time. Letter of resignation, marriage certificate. Where hata marriage certificate mpeleka kwa kazi gani? Refund of any outstanding cash advance. Refund of any outstanding cash advances. Unarudisha pesa yoyote ulikuwa umepata, kama ni ilikuwa ni maybe ulipata ya advance hapo, so unarudisha. So me naweza sema hapo you have letter of resignation, marriage certificate, clearance certificate also. Clearance certificate hiyo kumaanisha umeclear na the department HR umeclear, so kila na hata mali pia ulikuwa umekuwa station umeclear now. Alafu you have marriage certificate and refund of any outstanding cash advance. State 3 reasons for retaining a copy of an officer's identity card by the Human Resource Management Department. State 3 reasons for retaining a copy of an officer's identity card by the Human Resource Management Department. Record keeping, security reasons, verification purposes. Another one, for filing, for future reference, for filing, record keeping, security reason for verification processes. Section B, 10 marks. As a clerical officer working in the IPPD, Integrated Personal Payroll Data Section, you have observed challenges with the system. Explain 5 such challenges. Well, as a clerical officer working in the Integrated Personnel Payroll Data Section, you have observed several challenges with the system. Explain 5 such challenges. System error, data inaccurate, system error, data inaccurate, cyber security of the system has been compromised. Sasa utaku explain hiyo cyber security inasema kwamba the system of the IPPD being compromised has been compromised. The cyber security of the system of IPPD being compromised is also is a challenge. Is a challenge that this clerical officer may face. Because at times kuna watu ambao wana hacking system. We have people hack system, wana hack system ya KRA, wana hack system ya ya eCitizen, hizo zote. But whenever wana try ku hack, kuna vile hizo system pia zinakuwa maintain na cyber security expert ambao wanajaribu ku counter au watu wasiweze ku hack system au ethical hackers ambao wanajaribu ku maintain hizo system. Na hii cyber security expert hii inaenda kukua a thriving career to Gen Alpha na Gen Beta kule mbele, because vile kunaenda as the world vile inaenda, Kenya vile inaenda technological wise, inamaanisha kutakuwa na cyber crime mingi sana mingi, so we will have to have watu ambao wako ni ma expert kwa cyber security. Hata pia cyber security beginner courses itabidi watu wameweza kufunzwa wakuwe na at least knowledge, a little bit of knowledge, beginner knowledge for them to be able to overcome easy threats. Inflexibility, duplicate records leading to errors in payroll, delays in updating records after personal changes, system downtime interrupting operation, inadequate training on using the system, weak integration with other HR information system, duplicate records leading to errors in payroll, delays in updating records after personnel changes, system downtime interrupting operations, inadequate trainings on using the system, weak integration with other HR information system. A public officer may exit from service without retirement benefit. Describe 5 forms of such exit. A public officer may exit from service without retirement benefit. Describe 5 forms of such exit. I can say number 1, we have is dismissal. In case of death, I don't think so, Irene. Wana receiving hizi benefit. Wana receiving hiyo kabisa. Tuko na 5 forms of such exit. We have dismissal. Another one, contract expires. Another one, resignation, abolition of office. Retrenchment. We have resignation, dismissal due to gross misconduct, desertion of duty. Yeah, kuna tu kitu kama umeshai notice zile majob zenyu za kwanza, our first jobs, you can remember hata huko unaandika resignation letter na nini, unazima tu simu, hata usemi, unazima simu hata 1 week, utokei, hujaongelesha anyone, na hivyo ndio umewacha kazi. Tulikuwa watundu sana. You don't even communicate, wewe machanga tu kazi, uongeleshi mtu yeyote. I think hiyo ndo ni desertion of duty. Yani wewe hata uchangamki, yani wewe usemi umequit. And it is also happening in the service pia, naonanga mtu tu anaamua tu kuacha tu kazi, aongei, amepotea tu hivyo. Death. Oh, ati pia kuna death. Oh, yeah, death pia. Death because yeah, Irina alikuwa right. Death because wewe umekufa, uta receive hizo benefit. Na uta receive ni next of kin na maybe watoto wako ndio uta receive. Wewe utakuwa sahii umeenda heaven. Utakuwa umeenda heaven, Simon Peter atakuwa nakukaribisha for gates of heaven. Wewe uta receive anything. The only person who will receive hizo benefits ni the people closer to you, next of kin. Juu ujaretire. Mjao hizi benefits mtu anazireceive yule mtu mwenye ako alive. Sasa you are not alive. Wewe uta receive. Utakuwa in another world. Termination on medical ground. On medical ground. Hii pia niko na wasiwasi na medical ground, yani utalipwa. Utakuwa retirement benefit, ndio niko na wasiwasi. Retirement ground, yani uta receive juu umetoka because of ugonjwa. Na umekuwa ukicontribute kwa hii mambo ya pension. Number 14, a clerical officer has been seconded to a semi-autonomous government agency. Explain 5 benefits the clerical officer may accrue from this secondment. A clerical officer has been seconded to a semi-autonomous government agency. Explain 5 benefits the clerical officer may accrue from this secondment. Exposure to new experiences and skills. Opportunity for career growth and development. Development of network and relationships. Understanding of operation in parastatal organization. Potential for job enrichment and motivation. Exposure to new experiences and skills. Opportunity for career growth and development. Development of networks and relationships. Understanding of operation in parastatal organization. Potential for job enrichment and motivation. Is there any other apart from this? You have 14B. Describe 5 features of a show cause letter. 5 features of a show cause letter. 5 features of a show cause letter. Personal number, name. Personal number, name, subject, action and reason for the letter. Personal details, date, department. So tuangalie vile inakuwa wamedescribe aje. Wamestate reference number and date. As some of you had written, name and title of recipient, details of allegation, request to explain circumstances, warning on likely disciplinary action, reference number and date, name and title of recipient, details of allegation, request to explain circumstances, warning on likely disciplinary action. Highlight 5 circumstances when a clerical officer deployed in salary section may be authorized to remove a public officer from a payroll. Highlight 5 circumstances when a clerical officer deployed in salary section may be authorized to remove a public officer from payroll. Utatolewa kwa payroll kwa sababu gani? Watakutoa kwa payroll kwa sababu gani? Transfer. Transfer. Another one. Another one. Death, retirement, ukienda majuu, resignation, dismissal, interdiction, interdiction, umekuwa arrested na ukafungwa gerezani. Ukafungwa gerezani. Sinamaanisha hiyo sasa utakuwa umetoka kwa service. Umetoka kwa service hapo. So hapo utalipwa. Wanakulipa na uko jela. Umefungwa hata maybe 10 years or 5 years. Unauliza what is interdiction? Interdiction ni kufungwa. Kama mimi naielewa aje? Kufungwa, yani umeshtakiwa na koti ikaamua kesi yako. Ikamua kesi yako kwamba
CJ, interdiction si kufutwa. Interdiction ni umepatwa na kesi maybe ya corruption. So naomba step down kwa utoke kidogo nini kesi ikiendelea. So hujafungwa. Ni kama ukipatikana na kesi ya corruption unaika kwa kando kwanza hiyo kesi ichunguzwe. That is now you are interdicted. Bado hujafungwa, hujafanywa anything. Kesi inaendelea.
hujafungwa inamaanisha tu kwamba umepatikana na issue ya corruption na ama issue yoyote na bado hujafungwa.
Unasimamishwa tu job, that is interdiction. Ukae kando kwanza nini ziendelee. Zinaitwa investigations zikiendelea. Hiyo ndio interdiction. Na alafu ulipi. The other side ni hiyo ingine inaitwa suspension. Ukisuspendiwa bado unalipwa mshahara but nusu. So there's no utatolewa kwa payroll hadi kesi iishe kabisa. Kumbuka ikifika point ya sasa unaenda kufungwa, it means umefutwa. Gava ikikuondokea it means unaenda kufungwa. So umekuwa ushakuwa dismissed from the interdiction. So you start with the interdiction, then now the rest takes over. So utakuwa interdicted, utolewa kwa payroll, itakuwa tu salary yako imesimamishwa.
Now I'm trying to find the meaning of it. I'm trying to find the meaning of your interdiction. Na naona pa Irene anasema hebu niulize kutolewa kwa payroll na salary kukua stopped. Does they mean the same thing? Kutolewa kwa payroll na salary kukua stopped.
No.
See the same thing. Your salary kukua stopped inamaanisha kuna time maybe endeleza uweze kureceive salary, but hii payroll kutolewa kwa payroll hii umetolewa kabisa. Mtaka kuangalia
Huyu mwenye amesema kwenda majuu ako right, but utolewi juoni. I think if I'm not wrong, hiyo ndo inaitwa leave of absence, like leave of without pay. Yeah, huyu mwenye amesema kwenda majuu ako tu sawa, but pia utolewangwi. Ukienda you either apply for a leave of absence ama you personally resign. So if you are going on resignation, obviously utatolewa. Kama umeenda on leave of absence ama leave of no pay, then utolewi, bado utarudi.
Sina maanisha kuna watu wameenda majuu but they're still getting bado wanalipwa, ama because ameenda majuu kuna vile haja report to the salary section kwamba ameenda maybe hajapeana all the details, sasa analipwa lakini ako majuu.
Hapana, ndio maana nimesema leave of absence, unpaid leave. Ukisema unaenda majuu, tuseme umesema unaenda a study leave, you are not paid. Like nothing happens in your career progression. Ukienda leave of absence, haulipwi. Increment zako hakuna yenye unaenda tuseme for 3 years because inaanzanga na 3 years. Ukienda hakuna kitu ina happen kwa mshahara yako, like huko iko tu, everything is constant. Haulipwi na pia hakuna increment zinakuwa affected. Ukikuwa na review yako itakuwa affected. Unaenda ukirudi sasa, you start from where you left it. Inakuaga saa hivyo,
from where you left, and again tuseme kama maybe ulikuwa uko a particular job group, hiyo job group ndo unarudi tu na unaendelea na hiyo job group. Hakuna hii story za maybe promotion ati because hakuna hii story za promotion, yani career yako ilikuwa imesimama.
Like everything stands constant kabisa. Hiyo leave of absence inaitwa unpaid leave. Hiyo everything is constant. Sasa ukirudi unakuja tu kuanzia hapa uliachia unaanzia hapo, like unaendeleza from hapo sasa, because in most cases watu wenda kusoma, so now when you come and then present your papers, zitaenda mkutano then zikuje zikuwe affected, but as it is for the last 3 years zenye ulienda, kila kitu iko constant.
Naona hapa ile anasema ukienda kuishi huko kabisa without kurudi. Definitely watakung'oa tu kwa sasa you are not active, because I think maybe watajaribu kukutrace juu wanaona no movement, wanaona you are not there, you are not communicating. Hiyo naona tu utakuwa dismissed kwa kutoka kwa payroll. Hata kwa other forces, other governments may not be in Kenya, but serikali zingine, countries zingine, unaweza kuwa arrested just kwa kuacha tu kazi tu ndio communicate.
Hapana CJ, but you went there legally. Hukuenda illegally. Remember somebody was saying that kufutwa in the service is a long process. Assuming sahi upotee, the government has the responsibility of kukutafuta, ndio maana unapeana next of kin. The government looks for you for the longest time, mpaka wapate kabisa whereabouts auko kabisa, ulipotea. Ndio sasa watake your action. The first thing starts with your salary is stopped. Then they take the action of kwenda kukutafuta. Utafutwa kabisa from the chief.
Okay,
Maana ukitatizo kitu unapanga chief wenu area yenu. Hakuna vile ukienda tu potee kabisa, there is no information, no track about you. Hapo sasa unaweza kabisa wakutoe wakufute, but then they do a letter to public service. It's a way big process. Hiyo unasema to go to another country ufutwe aje na ulienda legally. Hukupitia njia za mkato ulienda legally. So
amesema some countries ukienda kama umenyamaza unashtakiwa.
Some countries umeenda umedisappear, no communication na nini, na ulikuwa unafanya kazi ya serikali, you are in a government office, there is a way they will trace you. Some countries, I don't know Kenya, but some countries utakuwa traced, upatikane na utashtakiwa kwa kudesert duty. I don't know Kenya iko aje. So tuko na death of the officer, resignation from service. Then you explain dismissal after disciplinary process, dissertation of duty. Sasa tuseme mtu kama yenye Irina alikuwa anasema umeenda majuu na hujawahi rudi Kenya, na wewe utaki kurudi Kenya, na wewe ni civil servant, hiyo utatolewa. Unaona hapo anasema dissertation of duty, yaani umeacha kazi, you don't want to kufanya kazi, definitely watakutoa kwa payroll. Termination on medical grounds. Then kuna hii number EB, explain 5 function of the ministerial training committee. It's a very common question. Kwanza wanakulizanga components. Hii ministerial committee imecompose kina nani? Kuna principal secretary, who is the chairperson. We have head of human resource management, who is the secretary. Then head of departments can either be finance, supply, procurement, and communication. Hizo pia wana fall under MTC, Ministerial Training Committee. Now we're being asked to explain functions of MTC, Ministerial Training Committee. What's the function of Ministerial Training Committee? 10 marks. Functions of MTC. What's the function? Yes. Identify areas needed for training in departments. Identify area needed for training, preparing and presenting training reports and budget. Coordination and supervision. Coordination and supervision. Identify areas needed for training. Maintaining training records. Hiyo wana maintain kweli? Hiyo ni kazi ya clerks. maintaining training records, ama ungesema mungesema monitoring and evaluation. Wana monitor na wana evaluate vile trainings zimekuwa in that state department. Monitoring and evaluation. We have conducting training needs assessment, formulating annual training plans. Formulating annual training plans also mean proposing training budget. Ukiwa unaongezea chumvi hapo, formulating annual training budget pia. Hiyo apart from plan pia budget vile hiyo the new financial year wataspend pesa ngapi kwa hiyo training. Selecting and approving officers for training. Selecting and approving officers for training. We also have monitoring and evaluating training programs. 16A, explain 5 factors that should be considered before a public officer is promoted to the next grade. You have job performance record, relevant academic and professional qualifications, vacancies in the establishment, years of experience, recommendation from supervisors. Then the last number, tumeka kwa is, explain 5 benefits of guidance and counseling unit in the State Department. 5 benefits of guidance and counseling unit in the State Department. Benefits of guidance and counseling in the State Department. Help to solve mental challenges. Help to solve mental challenges. Help to solve mental challenges. Another one. Helps in career development advices. Addresses personal challenges affecting work pia. Na kuna watu ambao kuna machallenges zao, so kuna vile wanajaribu kuaddress personal challenges of people vile ina affect kazi. Address personal challenges affecting work performance. Provide career guidance to officers. Manages work-related stress and burnout. Foster positive attitude. Promote psychological well-being and work-life balance. Provide career guidance to officers. Manages work-related stress and burnout. Foster positive work attitude. Promote psychological well-being and work-life balance. We touch on 2017 a bit before tuingie business calculation. Naona time imeenda. Just go through. State 4 requirements for an officer to qualify for advance of salary. Must have served continuously for at least 1 year. Must have served continuously for at least 1 year. Must not be on probation. Must have satisfactory work performance. Must demonstrate need for the advance. Must have served continuously for at least 1 year. Must not be on probation. Must have satisfactory work performance. Must demonstrate need for the advance. Then you have number 2. List 4 activities performed by clerical officers in processing of discipline cases. Number 2, can try and answer number 2. List 4 activities performed by clerical officers in the processing of discipline cases. Writing of the letters. Writing of the letters. They write letters. Writing of the letters. Also, I can say they submit letters. They submit or they send letters to victims. They say they send letters to the clerical officers who have been interdicted. Filing evidence, processing disciplinary letters, issue the letters to the clerical officers who have undergone who are in Kiingereza. Kiingereza inakataa kutoka. Presentation of file to higher authority. They present it to the higher authority. Preparing charges and show cause letters, organizing disciplinary hearings, recording statement and proceedings, compiling documentation and evidence, preparing charges and show cause letters, organizing disciplinary hearings, recording statements and proceedings, compiling documentation and evidence. The next of kin form is one of the documents maintained in a public officer's file. State 3 reasons to justify the importance of the forms. For emergency contact purposes, to facilitate payment of the last due in case of death. For administration of pension and benefits. Number 4, identify 4 statutory deductions that may be contained in the payslip of a public officer. Statutory deduction. We have SHA. SHA is a statutory deduction. We have pay as you earn. We have NSSF. We have house levy. We have higher education loan board. We have pension. Thank you. Deduction, pay as you earn, National Social Security Fund, NSSF, SHA. At that time it was NHIF, Higher Education Loan Board. We also have house levy. Number 5, a survey has revealed that a large number of officers in a state department have not been confirmed in appointment. Identify 3 probable reasons for this situation. Officers still on duty on probation, delayed appraisal and recommendation. Oh, now I understand. Why many officers may remain stagnant for many years without getting promotion. It is because of delayed appraisal. Especially ministry plan. I won't mention the name. Unaona watu wamekaa hapo sana without getting promotion. delayed appraisal and recommendation, pending disciplinary issues. Identify 3 benefits of apprenticeship as a form of training program. 3 benefits of apprenticeship as form of training program. 3 benefits of apprenticeship as a form of training program.
Hiyo ndio.
Jakupata.
Meaning of that apprenticeship sijui.
Okay. Another one. Enhance morale. Offering trainings for the staffs. Boost self-confidence. Boost self-confidence. Acquisition of practical work skills, hands-on work experience, potential for employment and income. Identify 3 circumstances under which an officer may be retired on grounds of abolition of office. We have dissolution of the department or entity, organizational restructuring, redundancy arising from digitalization, dissolution of the department or entity, organizational restructuring, redundancy arising from digitalization. Identify 3 requirements for a clerical officer to qualify for a paternity leave. Must be the child father. Must be the child's father. Child must be below 3 months old. Must notify the employer in writing. Must be the child's father. Child must be below 3 months old. Must notify the employer in writing. Number 9, identify 4 benefits that may accrue to a state department from conducting induction program for newly appointment public officers. Identify 4 benefits that may accrue to a state department from conducting induction program for newly appointment public officers. We have improved performance and productivity, quick adaptation to the work environment, enhance staff engagement and morale, reduce turnover of new hires. Another one, let it go slow. Another importance. We have another one. State 3 effects of interdiction to a public officer. Effects 1, bar from exercising powers and function, only eligible for half salary, required to hand over government property, State 3, obligation of an officer before resignation take effect. Set 3, obligation of an officer before resignation take effect. First of all is serve resignation notice as per terms of service, hand over any government property, clear any outstanding debts. First, you serve resignation notice as per terms of service. 2, hand over any government property. 3, clear any outstanding debts. Set 3 types of information that is contained in certificate of service issued in public officer on exit from the service. List 3 types of information that is contained in a certificate of service issued to a public officer on exit from the service. Ya kwanza ni personal details. Hiyo clearance certificate inafaa na personal details, appointment details, period of service, reason of exit. Personal details, appointment details, period of service, reason for exit. You have section B, explain 5 challenges faced by public officer while seeking benefits under the group personal accident scheme. Hizo ni za kawaida, nimepeana 10, which inafaa ikuwe 5. And the 10, we have lack of awareness about the coverage and claim process. Delayed reporting and notification of accidents. Failure to provide required documents to prove eligibility. Exclusion of certain incidents from coverage, e.g. natural death. Lengthy investigation to confirm valid claims. Commercial insurance limitation and policy restriction. Claim fraud is requiring stringent vetting of claims. Yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. Grace. Dispute with insurance over claims fraud risk required stringent vetting of claims. Low policy limits that may not fully compensate losses. Dispute with insurance over settlement amount. Bureaucracy procedures in processing and payment of claims. Outline 5 benefits of IPPD system. Improve accuracy and timelines in processing salaries. Enhance transparency and audit trails for payments. Reduce payroll frauds and ghost workers risks. Streamline management of deduction and remittance. Automated salary projection and budgeting. Real-time reports for human resource planning. Enable seamless monitoring of the government payroll. Promotes accountability through system control. Reduce workload and manual processes for HR and payroll. Facilitate efficient payroll reconciliation. I think hii wiki watu wataenda na salary on Friday. I think payslip watu wameanza kureceive hii wiki, I think from Monday, Tuesday. So mnajaliwa, wanatujali, mwende fanya exam na tupesa. A clerical officer intends to opt for early retirement. Explain 5 requirements that the clerical officer must fulfill in order to be eligible for early retirement. must have attained minimum age of 50 years, must have served continuously for 10 years, should not have any pending disciplinary matters, must formally apply for at least 6 months before intended retirement date. Early retirement must be public interest and approved by authorized officer, must complete payment of any outstanding government liabilities, should not be existing to take up other public service employments, must be certified medically fit to continue service if not, retiring on health grounds, should not be holding a constitution office with a fixed service term, must meet performance standard up to the date of exit. Outline 5 steps involved in the appointment of staff in an acting capacity. Here are some of the points. Identify need for acting appointment due to vacancy, determining suitability of processed candidate based on merit, ensuring the officer meets stipulated qualification and experience, seeking approval form from authorized officer as per regulation, preparing letters of appointment outlining acting capacity terms, administering oath of office to the acting appointee. These are answers hapo. Highlight 4 advantages of appointing public officer on local agreement terms of service. Kuna hapa allows flexibility in structuring terms to meet specialized needs, quickly fill gaps where standard TSC terms don't apply, terms service condition. I think hiyo ndio ina hii TSC inamaanisha. Enables competitive package used to attract qualified candidates, lower payroll cost of organization with funding constraints. Ziko mingi hapo. Facilitate engagement of temporary or part-time workers, simplified hiring process compared to standardized TSC procedures. Okay. I want us to finish here 2017. The government recently revised civil servant salary upward. Highlight 6 benefits that may accrue to the government from the salary revision. Hii ni obvious. Salary ikiongezwa kwa civil servant itawafanya aje? Kujibu maswali kama hayo. Highlight 5 limitation of a study tour as a mode of training of employees to a state department. Study tour as mode of training. It is expensive, required extensive funding for travel and expenses. Obvious. Disrupt officers' work schedules when away for long period. Only benefit the officer selected with minimal transfer of knowledge. Foreign tour may misuse for leisure rather than learning. Tour alone don't build capacity without complementary initiative. Number of participants is limited compared to in-house program. Ndio hizo majibu hapo. Yeah, we have a clerical officer has been under interdiction for 2 years. Outline 5 possible reasons for the delay in the finalization of the officer disciplinary case. Complex or serious charges requiring lengthy investigation. Pending criminal or court proceeding on related matters. Delay forensic analysis or audit vital to the case. New evidence or allegation emerging and requiring assessment. And availability of key witness and parties for disciplinary hearing. Insufficient tribunal capacity to expedite resolution of case backlog. Appeal and counter-appeal on preliminary matters. Well, I think let us meet in the evening tutaenda slow on 2018 and 19. Poleni kwa go through kwa hizo kusoma ma-answers na nini. Nataka tumalize HR tuko nyuma. If it is possible by Sunday tuwe tunarudia topic by topic tena. So nita close hii.